So I'm here today in this most beautiful village of HAUTEFORT. It's in the Dordogne and we're in the Périgord Noir region. The Périgord Noir is famous for its truffles, hence why it's the Black Périgord. It is such a pretty village, but it's not just the village that it's famous for, it's for the chateau, which we're going to have a quick look at. But actually I'm here today to show you an amazing domain, but we're going to come and see that after. I thought I'd give you a little tour of the village first. As you can see, this is a really pretty village and the architecture is everywhere. Wherever you look, you've got lovely architecture, blue shutters, red shutters. We're just in the late afternoon now, so the restaurants have shut, but there's a handful of lovely little restaurants here as well. And it's really arty. I've noticed on lots of walls, there's lots of little sculptures. Even the Baron de Bastard, who was one of the owners of the chateau, is over there. Behind me here, we've got this fantastic little brocante. It's full of interesting places and it's really worth a trip out to try the restaurants, have a look at the chateau, have a little shop around the brocantes, which I absolutely love doing. My house is full of trinkets and things from these brocantes. But obviously we're going to have a quick look outside the chateau because we've got to get over to the domain we're going to look at today. So what you can see here is the really ancient ramparts of the chateau, the original chateau. Now the original chateau is actually a fort and it goes back as far as 1000 AD, so it's very, very old. In about the 16th, 17th century, that's when chateaux became quite flamboyant and it was changed from a fortress into a chateau. So it's got amazing history throughout. The last known owner was the last owner that actually lived in the chateau was Madame Bastard that we saw the plaque off in the town. But now it's owned by a society to look after it and guard it and keep it beautiful, and it has thousands of tourists coming every year to visit it. Let's go and have a look. Wow, look at this. This is a little secret garden which is just below the chateau that anybody can come and sit in. Another lovely couple of sculptures. So gorgeous here. So what you can see is every household here has made such an effort with their plants. And the plants are so full of colour and they're so healthy. I need to get some tips from these people. But that's what makes it such worthwhile, making a trip here and spending the day here and looking at all the beautiful architecture and the fantastic chateau that you could spend all day in as well. It even has its own restaurant. Beautiful place. So we're at the top of the hill, the foot of the chateau. Fantastic views all over the Périgord Noir. Over in the distance though is the reason that we're here, and just over in the distance there on the top of the other hill that also has the same views but looks up to the chateau is the very private and gorgeous domain that we're just about to go and look at. So let's get ourselves there now. So here we are in this most amazingly beautiful location. As you can see behind me, the Château HAUTEFORT, where we've just come from, and the town of HAUTEFORT is literally the only view that this amazing property has. So I'm so excited to tell you all about it. On my right, we have the main property where the current family live. That's an old converted farmhouse, beautifully done. To my right here, we have the original barn that's been converted into a really big games room, children's area, and it even has a bar with a Cat 4 licence, which is very rare to be able to get hold of the licences here. Beautiful entertaining space. Over on my left, there's some amazing trees that go through to the GITE complex. There are actually 15 Gites here, 9 houses. They've all been built from new. They're all set in their own grounds, and every single one of them has this amazing view of the HAUTEFORT Chateau. So let's go and have a look around, and I'll show you some of the really nice things that obviously if you were coming on holiday, you would be able to do here. So here on my left, you'll see a 250-metre swimming pool, which we're going to come back and have a look at in a minute. And inside the building next to it is an indoor swimming pool. But we'll go and have a look at that soon. On my left here is a fantastic children's area, so you can see sand. So it really is a wonderful family location, and many families that have come and holidayed here, because the current owners have had it for 25 years, have returned every year. In fact, probably about 50% of the business returns because it's just stunning. Let's go and have a look down here. So you'll see behind me here that we have 3 different plots of properties. So we've got some smaller Gites, which have 4 of each, and then we have a big Gite which actually hosts 8 people. So behind me is the purple area, over to my right is the blue, which is exactly the same setup, and further right is the green. Over here we've got the children's area. This is an absolute godsend when you've got children on holiday. And it's completely safe, and all of the grounds are fenced, as you can see. The pool is fenced. It's in absolutely immaculate condition. You know, if you look at the grounds here, they're totally manicured, totally beautiful. You've got big trees, you've got my favourite trees over there, the silk trees. And then let's go and have a look at the pool. So as you can see, this is a really nicely styled pool. The current owners have put this in themselves. Again, you've got the views of the castle in the background, which is fantastic. You've got a little bubbles area in the middle there. And over behind the pool, which we'll go and have a look at now, is actually an indoor pool. So if it's raining and your guests still want to swim, they can go inside. But this is really lovely. It's such a lovely design. Let's go around and have a look. And you can see the space can host all the guests. So even if the whole complex was full, there's plenty of space for everyone to enjoy the view and enjoy the pool. So if you have a look behind me, you'll see the blue Gite area and the green Gite area and the purple area up there. So you can see it's really spaced out. So there's loads of room for everyone. Nobody's on top of each other, and they're beautifully built. They've got the old Périgordine style roof, which is a sort of very typical of this area in the Dordogne, but they all are brand new, so there's no work to do, no work whatsoever. This area is fantastic. They've got a new indoor pool, but it could be used as a spa. It's got a sauna in progress, and through here, this is a very, very unusual pool. Come and have a look at this. It looks like it's a mirror, but it's actually made from stainless steel and has a very, very professional filtration system that is underneath, which we can access through the sous-sol, the underneath area of the property. We also have a stainless steel jacuzzi. Very unusual as well. Lovely temperature. I could just get in there now on this nice sunny day and just look out at the views. And we have a baby pool. So if people have got little babies, this can be filled up for them and they can have their little paddling going on in there. The great thing about this property, I don't know if you've noticed as we've been going around, is every single part of it has the view of the chateau, and that's extremely rare. It's one of the most beautiful chateaus in France, and this property and all its outbuildings have a view of it, so it's a really nice view to have. So as you can see behind me here, there's a fantastic tower with hammocks in, really nice to go read a book or chill out. Next to that, you'll see the main house where the current family live. Really, really pretty, and that's one of the original buildings of the property. And you get a better view now of the big games area, but that actually has a professional kitchen in it, and it has a bar. So it could be used for lots of different things. I mean, it's a perfect location for weddings, and a lot of weddings have been held here because there's so much space and so much for the guests to do. So let's go and have a look now at the lakes. So if you can look behind me, you'll see the 15 Gites that are here. And it's just amazing what the price is. I mean, you're looking at 3 million here. That would get you maybe a 2-bedroom flat in London, or maybe a 4-bedroom or 3-bedroom flat in Paris. And yet you have 30 hectares of land here, 5 lakes, 2 swimming pools. I mean, it's just outrageous. It's such a great price. Let's go and have a look at the lakes. So now we're into the lake area, and it's got some little sheep that we'll see in a minute, and the sheep and a donkey, and even the sheep and the donkey have a view of the beautiful chateau. Now behind me is actually a professional carp lake, so fishermen can come here, and apparently, and I've seen the photo, some of the fish are 20 kilos big. They're quite big carp. We have a nursing lake on my left, which is where they put the babies in, and when they're big enough, they move over to the big lake, which also has a professional feeding system, so you don't have to worry about feeding them. And the original small pond lake is now a koi carp pond. The wonderful thing about this area as well is it's naturally fed. So there's a source here, which means all the water comes up. It was all dug out and it's beautifully prepared when the current owners got here. Now we've got koi carp in this pond. We've got large fishing carp in that pond. We've got a nursery, and we've got some other pretty ponds around. But again, if you love fishing, you couldn't have a better spot. So this part of the property used to be the Smallholding. It was a small farm, but the current owners currently keep sheep, as you can see, all shading underneath the trees. There's a donkey over in the background there, but you can have chickens. They used to keep peacocks here. They used to have Vietnamese pot-bellied pigs. So again, it's lovely when you've got families staying, and the children. It's an all fenced-in area, but the children can come in with their parents and see the sheep, or any of the other animals that you might choose to have here. Let's have a look around. So if you have seen any of my garden videos, you know that I adore gardening, and this is a fabulous potager. It's such an idyllic location. It's just full of nature everywhere. But if you were running a restaurant here in the big converted barn, this would make a fabulous kitchen garden for the restaurant. Everything was bio, so it would all be fresh, hand-picked, and fresh every day depending on what's the menu. Well maintained and looked after. And the guests here bring over their compost, so all of the things can be recycled, go into the compost bin behind me, feeds all the vegetables in the springtime, and it's a great use of recycling. It's just such a really lovely place, full of nature. It's great. So in here, some lovely Harley Davidsons that the owners hire out to guests, and some totally mad photographs behind me. But this again is the entertaining space. Now you could do loads of things with this. This has a Cat 4 licence, which means it's a full licensed bar. They don't give those out easily, so it's lucky it already has one. You've got reading areas, guest areas, but this would make a stunning restaurant, and having all the nature around it as well. There's plenty of parking for cars, etc. Or you could keep it as it is, as an entertainment space for guests when it might be raining or whatever. Children absolutely love it here. I've seen them playing everywhere as we've been going around. So now we've seen this wonderful property in this idyllic location, I'd like you to meet Maxime, who is our local agent who will be looking after this. So Maxime, what do people need to do if they want to visit?
Bonjour à tous, bienvenue donc dans cette propriété au milieu du Périgord Noir. Je vous invite à cliquer sur le lien en dessous de la vidéo. Vous trouverez plus ample information, vidéos, images. Et pour tout le reste, n'hésitez pas à aller sur le site de Leggett. Et moi, je vous dis à très bientôt pour de futures visites.